Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is the worldwide weekly wrap-up uncensored. And I want to start, where do we start? This entire week has been a clusterfuck, an absolute clusterfuck. I reintroduced that jargon into our vernacular this week because I've had it with these assholes. They are fucking everything up. First, I want to salute you guys and thank you here on Patreon. Thank you for all your support. Take a big old tug on that Scottish spring water. I tell you what, folks, it is crazy. Where do we start? Where do we start? I don't know. Let's start with this. Dr. Doom, the little asshole, has been caught again and again and again. This week, caught participating, folks, in funding experiments that aren't allowed here in America, but funding them overseas that were essentially torturing dogs. This is the world we live in where that isn't even news. That's not even news. You know, it is so fucking reprehensible, folks. These are some sick bastards. And I've heard this from numerous people, folks, that it's interesting how if somebody can torture animals, they're going to have no problem torturing humans, children, etc. What a week for children, right? We not only was Fauci involved in torturing dogs and supporting that, but what else has he been involved in? Oh, yeah. Putting aborted human fetal tissue and grafting it onto mice. Yeah, folks, they're sick fucks. Absolutely sick fucks. So God bless Texas. They passed their heartbeat law. Folks, heartbeat law saying, well, once an expectant mother whose fetus has a heartbeat, you're no longer allowed to have an abortion. I don't see anything wrong with that at all. If you've got a problem, if you think you're pregnant, if you're showing up pregnant and there's no heartbeat, okay, I can deal with that. That's certainly better than saying, well, you know, up to and including partial birth abortion. That's just fine. No problem there. So that sick fucks like Dr. Doom can experiment on baby parts. Folks, these people are absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. You want to know how sick these dumb bastards are? Whether it's Secretary of Defense Austin Lloyd or President Xi Biden himself calling Afghanistan, the complete spectacle of fuckery in Afghanistan, an enormous success. Folks, that's how far we've come down the SHTF. Shit, it's the fan. That's how far they come down the hallway into the stadium for everyone to see how stupid they are and for them to stand out there and proclaim that it's a success. Number one, they still don't know how many Americans are trapped in Afghanistan. They're trying to say, the administration, it's only 200. So that's okay. It's okay to abandon 200 Americans behind enemy lines. That's right. The Taliban is our enemy. They're trying to say that the Taliban is our good buddies, that we're all friends, that they're our security force over there. Why do we need them? Why were they given the country? After 20 years, we just give it to terrorists instead of giving it to the people of Afghanistan. Here you go, people. We're just going to leave. We're going to take a few months. We're going to get everyone out. We're going to make sure you've got control. Or have they been trying to do? I don't know what their problem is, folks. I just know they just gave up. $85 billion. Oh, by the way, yeah. You want to hear some shit that'll make your fucking head spin like a top? We had that information out. Listing of all the equipment, armament, explosives and ordnance, clothing, everything. We had all these lists, I believe, from the Department of Defense, saying all the shit that was cataloged and was over there in Afghanistan that the Taliban now own. It's now their property. Our property that we paid for, the American people, is now their property. An $85 billion gift to an organization that likes to enslave women, kill women. Oh, just give them a chance, folks. Take off your face cover. Take off your burqa. They'll kill you. Talk back. They'll kill you. Show a little bit of skin, they'll rape you. Oh yeah, that's how it works in Talibanistan. It's not Afghanistan anymore, folks. I just coined it. It's Talibanistan. That's right. You heard it here first. September 4th, the Talibanistan leaders. They'll kill you. They'll enslave you. They'll torture you. They'll make a religio-political statement out of your head and use it for fucking polo if they feel like it. It's their country. We just give it to them. And then they turn around and call it a fucking success after giving away all of our equipment, after abandoning Americans. It's not hundreds, folks. You know it's in the thousands. They've told us how many they've rescued. And then you compare that to the number of people that were there, American citizens, folks, American citizens that were there. And not only have they fucked up on that scale, lied to us, and then expect us to eat a bowl of shit and tell them how good it is, we learn what? That the Taliban was stopping Americans before they could get to the airport and sending them back to wherever they sent them back to, while allowing their own military age, 18, 16, 14, all the way up to their mid-20s, late 20s, perfect military fighting age. Oh, you, Mr. Secret Taliban, you can go and get on that American plane. You can go get on that chartered plane that's going to take you to the good old US of A. We're going to send thousands of these undercover Taliban people into the USA. And I'm sure, folks, I'm absolutely certain that Kamala Harris will be right there with a clipboard checking them in herself. The same way Kamala Harris, VP of the United States, back before she was VP, was making sure that BLM and Antifa could get out of jail. Commit a crime? No problem. Commit a felony? No problem. Burn, loot, arson, murder? No problem. You're free. Folks, if they're going to allow that in America, lawlessness on the scale they did in 2020, what makes you think they're going to do a fucking thing about these Taliban fruitcakes that are coming over here, that are here? And I'm getting reports from around the country, folks. Chicago, Michigan, New Mexico, all over the place. They're just busing them in, flying them in. Here you go. Here's a nice house. Here's a nice hotel. It's all yours. Time to start being an American. Well, here's your welfare. Here's your free stuff. See how great America is? Now go out and do your worst, I guess, because they're not going to stop them. They're not going to check in on them. Are these people going to be required to learn our history, the real fucking history? Or are they going to learn the 1619 Project? Are they going to learn about the people who fled Europe hundreds of years ago, fled tyranny, religious, political persecution? Sound familiar, folks? You don't like their religion of global change, climate change? You don't like their religion of carbon-free stupidity? You don't like their religion of Marxism? They'll attack you, right? So people left Europe hundreds of years ago. Are they going to teach these immigrants that? You fled tyranny, seeking freedom, all the things, the Constitution, civics. Are they going to make these Afghanis learn this and take tests on it? Are they going to have to swear an oath of loyalty to the United States and the Constitution the way immigrants for hundreds of years have done? That's right, folks. From the time we went from being the American colonies to the United States, or these United States of America, they've been doing that. Now that you're in America, you're going to take an oath. Folks, my great sire, going all the way back in the early 1700s, got off the boat in Maryland, sailed up the Chesapeake, got off the boat and was required to take a special oath, right, on top of all the other oaths. I don't know if I should give this up. I guess I could. The captain of the ship he was on, and other members of my family, decided that they were going to sail past Chesapeake Bay and keep heading south, totally, voiding the contract that they had with William Penn of Pennsylvania fame, and was heading probably to the Caribbean to enslave them. That's right, folks. Whites were taken to be enslaved. And anyways, my great sire and his freedom-seeking cohorts. That's right. They wanted freedom and liberty, folks, not total enslavement. They mutinied on the ship, turned it around and sailed it up the Chesapeake and landed it. And he took a special oath. Hey, we need you to make sure that you're going to, behave. right? In other words, my family going all the way back does not like slavery, getting screwed, nothing. It's in the blood, folks. It's in the blood, and it should be in yours too. We've all got this freedom-seeking idea, and we got people coming from Afghanistan that have the complete opposite idea. How is that good? How is that not fucked up? Well, let's move on, folks. There's a lot of topics to come. Folks, something wicked this way comes. The James Corbett report. He came out this week, does a great job. He's on BitChute. I recommend going and seeing it, watching it, listening to what he has to say. But I think we're all saying it. We're all saying it. People who are paying attention, there is something bad coming. We're being set up right now. The federal government, the state governments and local governments are starting to lose ground because you are speaking up. You are writing them. You're sharing these videos. Not this one in particular, but the ones that are on YouTube that you can share and just spread out, getting people to wake up. Wake the fuck up. Can't you see what's going on? While the government proclaims you, folks, to be racist, extremist, white supremacist, a domestic violent extremist, that we are now the enemy, that we, people like us, are to be purged out of the military. We're being purged out of our jobs, purged out of our families, purged out of being Americans. And if you speak up against that, you're an evil bastard. Well, folks, people are standing up anyway going, what have I got to lose now? They've taken everything else. That's right, folks. If you think you've got a job, it could be gone like that. Just like that. Bam, it doesn't matter. You get a big old fucking pink slip. Fuck you. You're done. If anyone has ever been fired, folks, if any of you have been fired, you know what it's like to go, what just happened? What just happened? I got fired. I got laid off. I got furloughed. I got cut. Right? If you're in sports, I got cut. I got cut. Oh, yeah, it's all political. Oh, that's right. I forgot. It's not about the sports team having the best athletes. It's about having the right people. Virtue signaling bullshit, appeasement of those who are powerful. Well, it's happening right now, and it's happening to you. And we're fighting back now. We're seeing all of the fuckery that Biden is doing at our southern border with our infrastructure over in Afghanistan. How they're fighting against our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, property ownership, transportation, the ability just to live and conduct business. They're trying to screw us over, and we're fighting back, and they don't like it. So what do they need to do? They don't want another patriot movement, folks, where patriotic Americans stand up. So they've already demonized us. That's right. Divide people up into little groups, and then take those groups you don't like and dehumanize them. The Nazis called Jews rats. They likened them to rats. Dehumanized them. They've dehumanized us now. We're Nazis. We're domestic violent extremists. We're white supremacists. And this week, white supremacists in the United States of America praised the Taliban for taking the country back. We did no such fucking thing. But, oh, wait a minute. I'm only assuming they're talking about me because they want to call all of us, you and me, white supremacists. One, I'm not a white supremacist. And two, I never fucking praised the Taliban. They're a bunch of terrorists. But they're trying to say, once again, demonizing, dehumanizing us, saying, see, these right-wing people, they are praising the Taliban and they're a bunch of white supremacists. Aren't the Taliban kind of tan and brown? Why would we praise them in the first fucking place? It's about putting us someplace, dehumanizing us so that they can then take action, destructive action, divide, dehumanize, destroy. Part of that, folks, it's looking more and more like, according to James Corbett, me, and many, many, many others. I'm not alone on this, nor was I likely the first to say a false flag is coming. A false flag is coming, and they're going to blame you. Are you prepared with food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense? Are you? Are you truly prepared? You need to be prepared, folks. You need to understand that area, that 10-mile radius around you, because that's going to be the stomping grounds, folks. That's going to be the stomping grounds. I tell you, I think you've probably heard of genocide, right? Genocide is the killing of an entire population or people. Genocide is being spoken of by Dr. Zelenko. You can get the link to his Rumble video, folks. And he is saying it is a very nefarious program that we're suffering under, that there is a sinister purpose, genocide. Now, what's interesting is the weakest amongst us are the ones going out and drinking the Kool-Aid. That's right, the Jim Jones juice. Just like with Jim Jones's cult back in the 70s down in French Guiana. He got them all to go to his magical place, and then he killed them and himself and everyone else. Talk about a death cult. It is now being prescribed on a national and international basis, folks. A national and international basis. Except you're not wanting to participate in it. That's right, folks. You're not wanting to participate in it. It's almost like they're killing their own people or risking the lives of their own people, certainly risking the health of their own people, but at the very, very, very least, putting their people in a position where they're now going to have to rely on Dr. Big Brother for the life-saving elixir of licking their boot every 3 months to make sure that you can stay alive. Now, I won't get into the deep, dark rabbit hole conspiracy of control drugs that have been prescribed in the past by agencies where you've been poisoned and now you have to continue to perform well, or you will not be given the drug that keeps you alive, that stops what they have. Folks, the CIA has had shit like a heart attack gun since the 1970s, if not the 60s. But it came out in the 1970s, a heart attack gun. That is, they shoot you with a special weapon and you end up with a heart attack, and it is barely detectable, if detectable at all, in an autopsy. That's the purpose of it, to kill people. It's funny how people are now dying. And there are, folks. Oh, great. Thank you very much. Well, we'll get to that later. There's so much to get into, folks. There's so much to get into. I don't know where to stop. I don't want to say too much. I just want to let you know the system is completely off the fucking hook. Off the hook, right? We've got students finally standing up for themselves, parents standing up for themselves, their rights, their children. Are you standing up for yourself, right? Now we've got some people that are actually standing up against the Biden administration in DC, which is one of the reasons, folks, they need more distractions. We've got all of these tax audits going on in Arizona, and they're continuing to say in Arizona it's worse than anyone ever knew. We're getting more and more reports out of Arizona. It is horrifying how bad it is. No wonder the Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has been dragging their feet, hiding stuff, destroying evidence, whatever it takes to keep the truth from coming out. And the truth is coming out. And it's spreading to Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia, and other places where they want to do more tax audits, forensic tax audits, because it looks like there's been tax fraud. Absolutely crazy. I had to get away from the office. I had to get away from the bunker. I needed to get to the water, or rather under it today, and broadcast from here aboard the U-308. I need to, I guess, decompress. Folks, I've had it, right? Jen Psaki yells. I mean, this is how fucking stupid they are. Snaps at a male reporter who asks about how Catholic President Xi Biden, how he can support abortion. How is that even possible? Her thing was, you've never been pregnant. Oh, okay. Neither has Joe Biden. So the sniffer surrenderer in chief, he is qualified to talk. And also the big question came out this week. I think it was North Korea's Kim Jong-il, ill being the operative word, question, Joe Biden, hey, he's sniffing everybody. Why hasn't he got this cerveza bug? Anyways, He's qualified to talk, right? So let's just turn some of this logic on Jen Psaki. So let's see. You and any other woman that hasn't been in combat, doesn't have a penis, you're not allowed to talk, right? So no woman is allowed to talk about combat or men's issues or talk about penises because you've never had a penis. I mean, that's the type of thinking, right? Well, but you have to have some sort of emotional response to what's going on in order to be qualified. And you have to have a vagina in order to understand. It's just fucking ridiculous. But that's how the left is, folks. They're so off the charts fucking stupid. Off the charts stupid. And they're not going to quit. They're not going to give up. They're not going to back off. And the more we wake up, the better. The more you, me, everyone, including people off the Prepared Mind Network, start talking back, talking and speaking out and speaking up for themselves. They start rejecting, protesting, saying, no, you're not going to stop us. You're not going to make us do anything. You're not going to arrest us. The more people do that, folks, without breaking the law, without glamorizing, glorifying violence, right? The more people right, are civilly disobedient. I love that term. Civilly disobedient. The more the political left, the Gigi Biden administration, is going to have to pull a false flag. They're going to have to do it, folks. You know they will. You know they will. You know, what has happened to America in the last year has just been fucking shocking. From what happened to President Trump, what happened to us, the people who vote on the Republican side of the ticket, our rights and our liberties, it has been absolutely shocking. It has been horrifying. And it's not just one thing, folks. It's the everything of everything. I can't think of a single sector, and Kaz had this, and we talked about it this week. He put out a list of, hey, let's take an inventory of where we're at with shit gone wrong. Everything has gone wrong. Everything. And every week we're visited with new fuck-ups, new catastrophes. What is coming next week? I want you to start thinking about what could go wrong next, because it's not just one thing and then the world and the United States of America focuses on it and fixes it. What's going to go wrong next? Next week, are we going to have war break out on Taiwan? America, through the Biden fucked up administration, has now abandoned their allies in Europe. Our greatest allies, Japan, Australia. Fucking Australia is fucked up, not the people, the government. They're fucked up. They're treating their people even worse than we are. They now have wellness camps and health hotels where you get to go whether you like it or not. If they say you've got something in your system that is a threat to the world, they'll come to your house, they'll arrest your ass, they'll take you away in a van. Try it, motherfuckers. Try it in America. Oh, it'll work here and there. The news will show it working here and there. There's going to be people that are going to say, I decline your hospitality. Here's some magic beans, right? Go grow yourself a fucking beanstalk, climb it, we'll chop it down, and you can stay in the land of fucking make-believe, bastards. And I think that's a nice way of saying what I would really like to say. Because I can't, folks, even in the worldwide weekly wrap-up, unfucking censored, I still can't threaten people. I still can't say anything that's a little too scary and violent. Unlike the leftist cocksuckers out there, right? Like Antifa and BLM, they can say whatever the fuck they want out loud to policemen's faces. They can put it on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. They can even put it on YouTube. They can use social networking to organize rallies that become violent, murderous, arsonist, looted catastrophes. And if you're overseas, if you're the Taliban, you can have your social media sites where you can show beheadings of people and the executions of infidels. And you can say whatever you want and threaten countries and nations and peoples and individuals, and you're allowed to get away with it. That's the fucking world of today. What is going to happen in the world of next week? What is coming next? We have war over there. Again, China, the United States won't ever, folks, not for many, many, many years after, and only if we get a real administration that gives a fuck about America and our liberties, and then goes and says, no, this is the America everyone used to know. And then we have the hard work of building a political, military, economic, freedom-based coalitions around the world. This tyranny, folks, is going to tear this country apart. It always does. It always has. It always will. Despotism, totalitarian dictatorships always tear countries down. Once again, I've been bringing this up, folks. This is the way it fucking works. Everyone is afraid of the Illuminati. Oh my God, their motto is order out of chaos. Folks, when we had order, what was the worry? They need chaos in order to make order out of chaos, their order out of chaos. What are we getting now? Nothing but chaos from these fucking people. Whether it's energy, fuel, food, water, our borders, our legal system, our educational system, our financial system. Let's take an inventory, right? What the fuck is going on? I got a text coming out of Idaho yesterday. Beef, more than $13 a pound. It was like $13.50 a pound. Ground beef, what? That much for beef, huh? That's not filet mignon, fucking beef, right? When someone says this is the beef price, they're talking about ground beef. If I'm wrong on this, I'll correct it later. But it wouldn't surprise me, folks, because I'm seeing incredible stuff this week. I want you to get a good supply of long-term food storage. And that can be stuff you get yourself, rice, beans, dehydrated vegetables. Get those. Make them sealed. They'll last. Good. Keep them safe. Keep them cool. Keep them dry. But you also need to get meat. Even if you buy one of these long-term food storage systems, they usually have vegetable protein, which is soy. Don't touch that with a 10-foot fucking pole or your testicles will fall off. Stay away from soy and soy oil, aka vegetable oil. Typically is soybean oil or has it as one of its constituent elements. Folks, there's a reason they call them soy boys. Stay away from it. Anyways, I went to some supermarkets this week, some stores, looked around. Meat, very thin. Very thin on the meat. Why? All of a sudden, there's no fucking cows? Or is it all of a sudden Bill Gates is buying farmland? All of a sudden, China's fucking with our meat packing facilities. All of a sudden, for the last 18 months, Cerveza bug, through, I guess, the collusion of left-wing labor unions, has decided they're going to fuck us around and fuck us over and say, oh, no, we're not going to work. Someone got the sniffles. And I understand, folks, people got really sick. In fact, earlier this week, someone in my neighborhood got very, very sick, looked like Cerveza bug. I'm still trying to find out whether or not he took the Jim Jones jungle juice. I'll find out. Folks, people are being put in hospitals who shouldn't be in hospitals. In fact, let me share this with you. You're going to fucking love this. In New Mexico, I have a medical professional, age 51. So you could say this person's been around a while. Knows a little bit about medicine, huh? Worked in very large hospitals from New York City, I believe, to the smallest of country hospitals. Got a good look around the world at how things work. Well, had a patient come in, I believe Thursday. It was Wednesday or Thursday. Patient comes in and says, oh my God, I had a medical procedure that I was scheduled, and I got an email telling me that because Cerveza bug is so rampant, they're going to want to cancel my appointment. That there's too many beds full of Cerveza bug patients, that there's no staff available to help me with my medical issues. Well, guess what? It was a fucking lie. They're now lying in emails trying to scare people who have upcoming appointments. It's spreading hysteria, folks. Talk about fucking misinformation. Because my, shall we say, medical informant informed me that there's no such problem there. Yeah, there's people there with cerveza bug, but they all seem to have come from, drum roll, across the border. They don't speak a fucking word of English. And they've got serious health issues. And then you add a little cerveza bug to that, and they get all the beds, and Americans are being denied medical services. And hospitals are using this as an opportunity to scare. Folks, I talked with Crispy Bacon about this. America, the world, are we going to trust doctors ever again? Are we going to trust scientists ever again? Are we going to trust experts ever again? Are we going to trust fucking politicians ever again? Not in my fucking lifetime, I'll tell you that, which could end tomorrow or could last another 50 fucking years. But I'm not going to trust them. Fuck no. No. I will test the information, what they're seeing, saying, and providing. I'll test it to the extent I'm capable. I'm not just going to take them at their word. Not anymore. Oh, the gods, the physicians. Oh, they were so lofty at one point. We believed everything they say is right because, you know, they're a doctor. Let's see, I went to school for kindergarten and 12 years and did high school. I attended college, right? But a doctor attends extra college. And so that makes them gods. Only the most brilliant people can pass those classes. Actually, the answer is no. All you have to do is keep going in there and trying until you get a passing score, and then you get to claim God status. And then you can sound like, I guess, a mealy-mouthed, schmaltzy Dr. Doom. Okay, everybody, I'm an expert. I've been doing this a long time in the government, and I know what I'm talking about because I'm a professional liar. That was my Dr. Fauci. I hope it came off as sounding like a fucking imbecile because that's how he comes off. Oh, but he's the most brilliant man on the planet. He's the expert. Folks, America, you, me, us, the world even, is being led down the primrose path to purgatory. What is purgatory? Well, it's that place you get to before hell that's not very fun and friendly. And quite possibly we're going to get to hell on earth. Some people are saying, hey, this sounds like the tribulation. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. We're going to have years, folks, years of SHTF. It's something that I've been thinking has been going to happen for a long time. I've done the trends analysis. I've done the history work. I've followed current events as they have progressively gotten worse and seen the path that we're on, that every time someone attempts to steer us off of that path to fucking destruction, it gets put right back on it. Every time we're promised we're going to get liberty and freedom, no. We got lies and falsity. Shit has hit the fan, folks. It is off the hook. It is a giant clusterfuck. Get prepared, please. I want to thank you for supporting us here at Patreon. And this is a Patreon-only broadcast. I want to thank you for it. I want to thank you for coming here and supporting us, the network, the research, the analysis, everything that we do that puts me in, well, the submarine or in an office chair or wherever the hell I show up. Sometimes just in front of a camouflage backdrop because wherever I'm at, I need to keep private. And that gives me some level of protection. And I go out in public, I got no problems, folks. But you know, I just want to kind of relay to you, it's not getting better, it's getting worse. Get prepared. Get prepared now. Hey, chance favors the prepared mind. I know you're here, I know you're with it. Make sure you're good. Double check everything you've got. Check your food, check your water, check everything, your ammunition, your guns. Make sure that your plan is suitable. And as long as you keep watching and keeping up with current events and how you are being demonized, and how you see people like me and like you standing up and fighting back and saying, fuck you, pal. You guys are the enemy. You're against freedom. You're destroying our country. You're tearing down the Constitution, our law, our culture, our history. You're fucking our world up, mister. The more people stand up, folks, good. But it's also going to lead to conflict. It's going to lead to false flags. It's going to lead to the tyrants really cracking down on us. And those are going to be hard times. That's why being prepared matters. Folks, no tyrant, no fucking tyrant anywhere, with the exception of one, and I'll tell you about him here. No tyrant anywhere has ever backed off and said, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was fucking up so bad and destroying everyone's lives and fucking them over. I didn't realize it. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. No one has ever said that except one guy. His name was King John. Right? And he was taken to, I believe it was Runnymede. King John was a tyrant and a half, King of England. He was basically, folks, get this, a illegitimate king, a king in another king's stead, substitute king, whatever the fuck he was exercising authority, whether or not the people believed he should, and he was violating everyone's rights, including many who were both powerful and wealthy, and they had enough of their shit. So they came up with this thing called the Magna Carta. Okay, the King's Charter, Magna, King, Carta, Charter, the King's rules, right? Here's your King's rules to sign. Now, why did this tyrant, when he was talked to, why did this tyrant, when he was given a piece of paper, decide, I'm going to proclaim the people's rights. I'm going to proclaim the law of the land and how things should really work. And I'm going to sign this piece of paper. You want to know why he did that? The one time in history where a tyrant signed a piece of paper and backed the fuck up? Well, because essentially he was going to be run through with a sword. There is a contingent of knights, amongst them Knights Templar, who said, hey, King John, we need you to take a look at something and have a little talk. Now, under normal circumstances, you could say, hey, that's duress, right? Forcing you to sign something with a gun pointed at you is duress. Therefore, it's a fraudulent, voided contract. Well, how about this? Today, if you don't sign this piece of paper, waiving all of your rights, take an experimental glass of tequila, a tequila shot, and drink it. If you don't do as we say, we're going to destroy you, take your job from you. You're going to lose everything. Ostensibly, in the future, you won't be able to go anywhere, go into stores, conduct business, go into a hospital, do nothing. Doesn't that sound a bit like duress? Coercion, at the very least. And it's not nice coerciveness, folks. It's dangerous coerciveness. This is where we're at. Are you going to stand up for yourself, folks? Are you going to fight back on your own behalf? Are you going to start taking action? Get prepared, right? That's what this is all about. That's what this is developed into. It has evolved into this. When I first started the broadcast portion, talking about the potential ways shit could hit the fan, to a very specific and pointed direction now that we see that they're pushing. Why? How is it in less than 10 years, and for me, well over 30 total, looking at the world and going, not liking the direction it's going? It has come from a very broad anti-freedom into a very narrow and focused path, because they're revealing to us their means. They're revealing to us their standard operating procedures again and again and again. Right? Their modus operandi, the direction they're traveling. They're admitting openly, verbally now, they're a bunch of Marxist, fascist scumbags who are interested in genocide and control of everybody and everything, cradle to grave. Fuck, pre-cradle, folks. They want to control population. They want to control everything. Are you going to allow that to happen? I don't think you are, and I don't think many people will. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get dirty. It's going to be a fucking mess. Hey, got a fan? Throw some shit in it. See what happens. Shit will get blown and sprayed everywhere. Do it with horse shit. It's even more fun. Just a guess. Not that I've ever done that. Anyways, folks, I want you to get prepared. You start seeing what's going on. You start understanding it. The more facts you get, right? And if you've got an imagination, it can scare the ever-loving shit out of you. The only solution I see is to get prepared and then prep to action. Because they're taking action. The leftist scumbags, they're taking action. They're dividing, they're dehumanizing, and they'll destroy us. They have taken our order, law and order, our rules, our constitution, our culture, and they're turning it into chaos. It's becoming a chaotic fucking mess, and they're lying about everything. They're destroying and removing history so that they can make their order out of chaos. It's all happening right now in front of you. Do you see it? Do you see where it's heading? What are you going to do about it? Chance favors the prepared mind, folks. Is yours. We'll be back with the zoo. It looks like we're going to do Monday night at the zoo, Monday night, because we have a nice long weekend to think about this shit. You guys be cool, and I'll be back Monday night for Monday Night Live, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time, and everywhere in the middle, you know where you're at. You guys be cool, be safe, be free, be prepared. Godspeed, Semper Fi. I tell you, folks, what a fucking mess, what a clusterfuck.